Hello, good evenings, one and all. 9th of January 2019, allegedly, by this calendar. How are we all? Hope you are well. I'm going to set up. We're going to get straight into it. Done it 6 minutes early. Wow, that's a first. 5 minutes, 6 minutes early. But on the graph today, I hope you're all well. Hope you're all sovereign, self-governing, safe and stable. The setup is SPLs will be the microphone and Indi will share screen and display video with audio, hopefully. That's all to be discovered now. So I'm going to go through some videos that are of particular interest to me and that I've watched over the solstice period that we've just had, aka Xmas. Let's see who is in the house. Jerry, Costa, Andrew. Let me refresh. Let man refresh. Good evening, 10. MG, aka Midnight. Andrew, Costa, Jerry, 13, 14, picking up. Okay, right. Good evening, brothers and sisters, family. I'm going to do a random cast. Sorry for the no notice. Andy and I have agreed that we'll do a hangout on a Friday, so yeah, you can look forward to casts on a Friday from me and Andy. Andy and Dave show has returneth for 2019. But tonight, I've just got some videos I want to share with you. They're on YouTube, and I share the channels. Some of them I haven't shared with you before. The first video is quite prolific. It's quite interesting, to say the least. If any of you have had the privilege of looking at the documents or videos that we've got to accompany the Sovereign Masters Guild, education workshop that we have constructed and outlaid the first tier level, course through those 3 documents. You will need to read them, and you can get some competence testing upon them, or competence grading, some competence evaluation shortly. So the videos are on SPLs on this channel that's chatting now, SPLs Pro on Tube, and the documents are available for download. So I'll keep an eye on the numbers on that. And this video that I'm about to play you is very interesting, to say the least. And it's all right, Andy and David coming on, and David saying this, and Andy saying this, and whatever saying, and you think, and you say, and we evaluate, and all of this. But I just want to share a few videos, all right? So we've got to check the audio. May not work first time. My codecs are scrambled, so bear with. You know the drill. And I will check the audio. I'm going to share my screen in a minute. I'm going to go through about 5 videos. And we're going to let them play, and then we're going to have a chat. All right. So thank you for joining. 21. Shivites, easy. Albert, Michael. Michael, hello. What is going on, Dave? Everyone disappeared. Great. Ah, yes, Michael, you should email me, david@splspro.com. Yeah, give me a message, email, and we'll pick stuff up. Yeah, I'm aware of that because we've dissolved the Facebook trust, and I've gone off Facebook, and yeah, it's gone a bit weird as an adjustment period that I am going through. Very quiet, yeah, on my phone, to be fair, which is a nice break. And yeah, we'll link up, Michael. We have ways, and you can get Kev. You've got my number. If you haven't, you can get it off Kev. And Kev's been a bit quiet, I know. So yeah, I've been picking up the slack quite a bit this week, after doing 3 days back last week. All is good. All is in hand. We're here, look. You found us. But I do like that. It's very a blunt message there, Michael, brother. Moving on, Gary. Evening all. Now then. Sobs. Yes, MG. Right, so that's it. We've said hello. Thank you to the 23. Chillstar, just managed to grab you there. Oh, and Alan. Indigo 67, Edward. Oh, right then. Nice one. Welcome. I'm not explaining that again. We've got a little mission to go on here. I'm going to share my screen, check the audio, and we've got some videos with very important information for me to share with you that isn't me or Andy saying it. So let's go. Let me get online to the video. I'm going to share my screens. Just it may be quiet for a minute. Give me a chance to set up, and we're going to go now. Thank you. I've got 12 tabs open. So the first video is called Wow, Pope confessed this and wrote it down before the last crisis. You are without excuse from here. It's had 371 views. 34,371 views. It's by a channel called The Controversy 7, and it premiered January the 7th, 2019. All right, this is brand new because it's only a few days published. He's got his Patreon link. We're going to do all of that. I'm not stealing anybody's work. He's put it in the public domain, and I've subscribed to him, The Controversy 7. And this is just a new video that I think is quite, it's not out there. It's only been out a few days, and yeah, let's hope the equipment works. We're going to screen share and enjoy. Enjoy. I'm here to check the audio, so don't worry. I will sort it. We haven't got an echo. And when the video's playing, I will not be talking because it cuts the screen onto SPL, so. Stand by. Let's press play, got volume up, yeah. Come on. Some. Let's let the magic work. Press play, got volume up, yeah. Come on. Right. Is it coming through? Right. Is it coming through? Right. Stand by.
His encyclical Laudato Si, confessing exactly who they truly worship, allowing the fruits of the Vatican to be revealed. And I believe that these words that came directly from their mouth, confessing exactly who they truly worship, allowing the fruits. changes around your life and you will say, today, I'm officially changing the things which Pope Francis has spoken with his own mouth and written it down as a record for the history of the world. In his encyclical, Laudato Si, confessing exactly who they truly worship, his own mouth, and written it down the fruits as a record for the history of the world. In his encyclical, Laudato Si, confessing exactly who they truly worship, his own mouth, and written it down the fruits as a record for the history of the world. In his encyclical, Laudato Si, confessing exactly who they truly worship, his own mouth, and written it down as a record for the history. These are the confessing exactly who they truly worship, his own mouth, and written it down as a record for the history. These are the
Well, that was fun. I think my codecs are still broken. I'll have one more go. Bear with me. Sorry.
Pope Francis has spoken with his own mouth and written it down as a record for the history of the world. In his encyclical, Laudato Si, Francis has spoken with his own mouth and written it down the fruits as a record for the history of the world. In his encyclical, these words that came directly from the mouth of the beast has spoken with his own mouth and written it down as a record for the history of the world. In his encyclical, these words that came directly from the last chance to make peace right with his own mouth and written it down as a record for the history of the world. In his encyclical, these words that came directly from the last chance to make peace right with his own. Revealed. And I believe that these words that came directly from the mouth of the beast, ladies and gentlemen, these are things that you should not take for granted. These are the final warnings in which the world is being given the last chance to make. Pope Francis has spoken with his own mouth and written it down as a record for the history of the world. In his encyclical, Laudato Si, confessing exactly who they truly worship, allowing the fruits of the Vatican to be revealed. And I believe that these words that came directly from the mouth of the beast, ladies and gentlemen, these are things that you should not take for granted. These are the final warnings in which the world is being given the last chance to make things right with the Lord. My friends, you who are watching this video, if you came to this channel thinking that I'm going to give you a soft, watered down message, trust me, you're in for a rude awakening. I'm also going to share with you a video directly from Pope Francis. And in this video, the mouth of the horse speaks some very interesting things. Hopefully, when you hear this, you will make changes around your life and you will say, today, I'm officially changing the things which I thought I was doing that I thought was right, and I'm making things right with the Lord now. It's time to get ready because probation is closing. First thing is first, let's go to Laudato Si, the Pope's encyclical, which was written in 2015. It is very interesting to note that the word Laudato Si means praise be to you. That is a reference to worship. The entire book is based upon praise be to you. Now, the question is, who is it that the Pope is referring to when he writes Laudato Si? In fact, they have a website designated strictly for Laudato Si. So, follow along with me. We go to chapter 2, of Laudato Si, chapter 2 headline reads the following: The Gospel of Creation. Within this chapter, we go to section number 4, which states the message of each creature in the harmony of creation. Within that section, we go to page number 87. And here are the words. Follow along because this is very important. When we see God reflected in all that exists, our hearts are moved to praise the Lord for all his creatures and to worship him in union with them. This sentiment finds magnificent expression in the hymn of Saint Francis of Assisi. All right, it sounds good, but let's continue reading. Praised be you, my Lord, with all your creatures, especially, Sir, brother, Son, who is the day and through whom you give us light. And he is beautiful and radiant with great splendor, and bears a likeness of you, Most High. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any idea what we just read? Do you have any idea what Pope Francis just said to you? Let's just keep reading, and we're going to come back and dice all of this up and break it down so that all of us can be on the same page and understand exactly what Pope Francis is saying. We continue reading the following, and I quote, Praised be you, my Lord, through Sister Moon and the stars. In heaven you formed them, clear and precious and beautiful. Praised be you, my Lord, through brother wind and through the air, cloudy and serene, and every kind of weather, through whom you give sustenance to your creatures. Praised be you, my Lord, through sister water, who is very useful and humble and precious and chaste. Praised be you, my Lord, through brother fire, through whom you light the night, and he is beautiful and playful and robust and strong. What we have just read, ladies and gentlemen, I never said that out of my mouth. These are the words that came directly from the encyclical written by Pope Francis himself. This breakdown, which we are going to do about these very statements, I'm going to make it so simple so that even a young child will be able to understand exactly what I'm speaking. First thing is first, I'm going to bring the 10 commandments, and the words of the papacy is going to be held against the 10 commandments. And we are going to see whether the Pope passes the test or whether he fails the test. In his statement, he brings the following creations in nature. Number 1, the sun. Number 2, the moon. Number 3, the stars. Number 4, the wind and air and clouds, which is the weather. Number 5, water. And finally, number 6, fire. Now let's observe how Pope Francis spoke of these creations, the creations of Yahweh, through Jesus Christ. Observe the following. Praised be you, my Lord, with all your creatures, especially, Sir, brother, Son. Pause. That means, praise be you, O Lord, we're worshiping you, O Lord, with all your creatures. He just told you, we are worshiping God along with all of his creatures, especially, Sir, brother, Son. He goes on to say he is beautiful and radiant with great splendor and bears a likeness of you, Most High. In other words, he likens the sun to God himself. Furthermore, he goes on then to say, Praised be you, my Lord, through Sister Moon and the stars. In other words, praised be you, my Lord. We are praising you, O Lord, through Sister Moon and the stars. Here's another way of saying exactly what Pope Francis just said. We are worshiping you, O Lord. Praise be unto thee, Almighty God, through the moon and the stars and the wind, the air and the water and the fire. We are praising God through these creations. That means we are not worshiping him directly, but we are worshiping his creation. And by worshiping his creation, we are worshiping him. But he likens the sun as being equal to the likeness of God. The question is, which God? If the sun is equal to God, then that means that the sun is worthy of worship higher than all the other created things of nature. Do you have any idea what we have just read right now, ladies and gentlemen? What we have just read is pantheism. This is called pantheism. Pantheism is the worship of nature. In fact, let's go to Google. Listen to the definition of pantheism. Pantheism is defined as follows, and I quote, "Pantheism is the view that the world is either identical to God or an expression of God's nature. It comes from pan, meaning all, and theism, which means belief in God." Pause. What comes to mind when you think of Pan? If pantheism comes from Pan, do you have any idea where Pan originates from? You see, Pan, ladies and gentlemen, is actually a being that looks exactly like Baphomet. However, he is a male version that does not have titties or titties like breasts of a woman. Rather, Pan is half man or half human and half goat. Here is an image of Pan. Now the question is, who exactly is Pan? Well, in ancient Greek, and I'm reading from Google, in ancient Greek religion and mythology, Pan is the god of the wild, lowercase g. God of the wild, shepherds and flocks and mumbo jumbo. You get the idea. The bottom line is that Pan is associated with nature. Those that worship Pan are pantheists. Pantheism is simply the worship of nature. And it's very interesting that Pan just happened to give resemblance to Baphomet. Baphomet is associated with devil worship. And there are many people who tend to be confused into thinking that Lucifer and Satan are two different things. In fact, others will go to the point of saying that a devil and a demon are two separate entities, not knowing that a devil and a demon are one and the same. There's no difference. They are one and the same entity. Satan is no longer referred to as Lucifer here on earth because he used to be called Lucifer when he was in heaven. Lucifer means light bearer. He was the bearer of God's light upon the heavenly angels. He was highly elevated above all the angels, and because of his beauty, which is documented in the book of Ezekiel, he began to look at himself, and because of his beauty, he began to think evil thoughts, and those evil thoughts were revealed in the book of Isaiah. And in the book of Isaiah, that's when Lucifer envied the very throne of God Almighty, the creator of heaven and earth, and he said, "I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High." He envied the very throne of God, and he wanted to be like the Most High. As a result, he initiated a war. That war is documented in the book of Revelation. And that war caused 1/3 of heaven's angels to be cast out with Satan, who now is referred to as the dragon, the serpent of old, who is also called the devil and Satan. He was the serpent of old because he was the one who deceived Adam and Eve at the Garden of Eden. Ladies and gentlemen, the worship of nature is the worship of Lucifer. The worship of Lucifer is the worship of Satan. You can't escape that and say, no, I'm only just worshiping nature. Now, when we examine Pope Francis' statement with regards to paying homage to Saint Francis of Assisi, these words, ladies and gentlemen, you can't take them lightly, because Saint Francis of Assisi was a nature worshiper. He was a pantheist, just like all the other popes who have ever come and sat on the throne of the papacy. The Vatican thrives on paganism. It's very interesting that he makes the appearance of the sun as the appearance of the Most High, yet at the same time he then goes on to say, "Praise be you, my Lord, through sister moon and the stars." It means, praise be you, my Lord, in the name of the moon, in the name of the stars. In other words, we are coming to you, O Most High. We're coming to worship God through the worship of all these other celestial bodies of the heavens. Ladies and gentlemen, that is pantheism. That is paganism. Do you think it is a coincidence that everywhere you look on the Vatican, you see the symbols of the sun and you see the symbols of the moon? Is it a coincidence that you also just happen to see symbols of a dragon inside the Vatican? Is it just by pure coincidence that you see the worship of dead saints? Do you not realize that the Vatican is the main center of idolatry? Is it just by pure coincidence that when you look at the Vatican, you see statues and images of angels and demons at war with one another? Do you not see that there is a promotion of idolatry at the Vatican? People kiss the feet of statues of dead saints. Do you not see how people kiss the finger of a statue of a pope? Do you not see how people kneel down to the statue of Virgin Mary? Do you not see how people go and even look at the image of Christ and they bow down to the statue? When you observe these things, ladies and gentlemen, now the question is the final test. Let us put this against the law of God, which is the judge, standing against the 10 commandments. Does the Vatican pass this test of being righteous and of being of one accord with Scripture? Because, ladies and gentlemen, the second commandment states the following: Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Does the papacy pass this exam? The answer is clear without a shadow of any doubt. No. Idolatry runs far too deep in the veins of the papacy. If you really observe carefully, ladies and gentlemen, it is not by pure coincidence that the majority of the Christian world also has been conditioned into idolatry and into paganism without them even knowing it. Observe this quick, simple logic. If the papacy is admitting to you that the Son is considered equal to God, that means that they are going to do everything in their power to glorify the Son and to bring homage and glory to Son worship. Does that not make sense? It all fits with the agenda of the papacy for them to also alter the fourth commandment of the Lord, which states, Remember the seventh day to keep it holy. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. The Lord sanctified his own day, while the devil, through the papacy, sanctified his own day. The Lord sanctified the seventh day of the week, the Sabbath, which we call Saturday, whereas Satan glorified the first day of the week, which is the day of the sun. His leadership is to pay tribute and homage to sun worship. Does it not make sense in your head? Think about this. Does it not make sense that if the papacy favors the sun and likens the sun to the Most High, doesn't it make sense that they will do their part to make some changes with regards to times and laws? You see, at creation, the Lord gave each day a number. Day 1, day 2, day 3, 4, 5, 6. But the seventh day is the only day that the Lord gave a name. The seventh day is called the Sabbath. And lo, comes the pagans and the papacy. What did they say? Nay, the first day of the week, we are going to call the day of the sun. We are going to refer the first day as Sun Day. And after the sun comes the moon, and after the moon comes the other stars. Oh, does it not make sense? It fits with the statements. First, the Pope worships the sun and likens the sun to the Most High. After the sun, then he pays homage and tribute to the moon and the stars. Listen to this video in which the Pope speaks of the true Sabbath. Observe.
Se vive con el acelerador puesto desde la mañana hasta la noche. Y eso arruina la salud mental, la salud espiritual y la salud física. Más aún, arruina y destruye la familia y por lo tanto la sociedad. El séptimo día descansó. Lo que los judíos tenían y tienen, ¿no es cierto?, los observantes, como sagrado cumplir el Shabbat. El sábado se descansa, un día a la semana, al menos eso, para la gratuidad, para dar culto a Dios, para estar con la familia, para jugar.
Clearly, he mentions that the seventh day is Saturday, the day in which people are to keep holy and sacred and rest upon it. Now, let's look at the true Catholic confession, in which they admit that the Protestant movement has been in thorough accord with the Roman Catholic Church because of Sunday sacredness. Sunday sacredness unites all churches to the Roman Catholic Church. In other words, it doesn't really matter if you call yourself a Protestant, because if you call yourself a Protestant, yet you still go and observe the first day of the week as the Sabbath, you are paying homage to the Son. You're ultimately paying homage to the papacy, because that is their mark of authority. These are not my own words. These are their own words. Observe. Taken from the Catholic Mirror and can be found in a book called Rome's Challenge, in which a cardinal of the Roman Catholic Church writes these confessions. He wrote the following, and I quote, "Numerically considered, the Seventh-day Adventists form an insignificant portion of the Protestant population of the earth. But as the question is not one of numbers, but of truth, fact, and right, a strict sense of justice forbids the condemnation of this little sect without a calm and unbiased investigation. This is none of our funeral. The Protestant world has been, from its infancy in the 16th century, in thorough accord with the Catholic Church in keeping, quote unquote, holy, not Saturday, but Sunday." This simply means, ladies and gentlemen, that anyone who continues to carry the tradition of observing Sunday as the Christian Sabbath or the Christian day of rest, they are in thorough accord with the Roman Catholic Church. Now, the Catholics themselves, they said with their own mouths, who is the true Protestant? Observe.
The Adventists are the only body of Christians with the Bible as their teacher, who can find no warrant in its pages for the change of the day from the seventh to the first. Hence their appellation, Seventh-day Adventist. Their cardinal principle consists in setting apart Saturday for the exclusive worship of God, in conformity with the positive command of God Himself, repeatedly reiterated in the sacred books of the Old and New Testaments, literally obeyed by the children of Israel for thousands of years to this day, and endorsed by the teaching and practice of the Son of God whilst on earth.
Oh, my voice.
Whatever.
You get the idea, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone who continues to carry on the tradition of the Roman Catholic Church by observing Sunday sacredness, they are paying homage to the papacy. By paying homage to the papacy, you are actually becoming a pantheist, which actually is the worship of nature. In simple terms, Sunday worship is nature worship. Why? Because it is the day of the sun. And you become a pantheist just like the Pope. Pope Francis is promoting pantheism. And that is what you become when you align yourself with the Roman Catholic Church. From its infancy, the Roman Catholic Church was always involved in paganism. Ladies and gentlemen, what am I trying to tell you? At the end of the day, this is a wake-up call for you. In the book of Revelation, the Bible says, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins," because the judgment of God is going to fall upon this church. God's plagues are going to fall upon anyone who accepts her mark, her ecclesiastical mark of authority, which is Sunday sacredness. What I have simply just shared with you is just a small segment out of many. There's so much that can be spoken that will take series and series and series. Ladies and gentlemen, obeying the 10 commandments of God is a salvational issue. If you are not told this, you're going to be an outlaw. The Bible says that if you break one commandment, you are guilty of breaking them all. In the New Testament, Jesus said, if you love me, keep my commandments. Many people say, well, the commandments are only two. Jesus said to love the Lord your God with all your heart and to love thy neighbor. Well, the question that I have is, if you love the Lord your God, will you have any idols before him? No. If you love your God, will you take his name in vain? No. If you love the Lord your God, will you have any other gods before him? No. If you love the Lord your God, will you break the Sabbath? Many of you will start to say, well, that's legalism. No, it's not, ladies and gentlemen. That's a part of the Ten Commandments. If you love your neighbor, will you kill them? No. Will you steal? No. Will you commit adultery? No. Will you covet them? No. What did I just summarize? That's the Ten Commandments. There are two tablets of stones. The first is love to God, and the second is love to your fellow brethren. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I will just leave it at that because the video is now lengthy. I'm going to cut it here at this point. I will let the Holy Spirit do the conviction. At this point, all I have done is shared with you the information. You have to make the decision based upon the information that you have received. How you choose to respond is entirely in your hands. So, you choose this day who you will worship, whether you will worship the Lord your God or whether you will worship men and tradition. That's in your hands to decide. Thank you for joining me. This is the Controversy 7. You take good care of yourselves, be safe, and I'll see you guys next time.
We are back. Hello. What did you think? I've got to remember my sound settings when I set this back up, but we're good. Wow. The Controversy 7 was the channel. I did ask him, may I reuse this and show to my Anglo subscribers? This is brilliant. See our new website, www.splspro.com. One love. And nothing. So I've taken a liberty. 810 comments. 7th of Jan 2019. So if any of you do presently subscribe to the Controversy 7, thank you very much. They're on Facebook. There you go, backup channel, very clever. Yeah, thank you for that. I don't claim any of that. I just thought that that had some good messages in. Definitely had some good messages in. That's what we're here to do, is to bring you the message. So I'll go to the chat room now because I want to say hello, thank you. Look at your comments. We'll stop screen sharing just a minute because it messes up the shots. There we go. 37. Thank you for that. Sorry about the shaky start, but my laptop is somewhat I don't know, shaky. Codex issues. I'll start from the top. After Chillstar, I believe it was MG. I'm on a laptop. Alan, easy. What we got? I need that avatar, Mandy. How much? Let me just skim through because we've got another one. We're going to watch Muhammad Ali next. Cassius Clay on an old chat show, and he says a poem. Oh, the poem. Get ready for this. But listen to the message. It's got a message there. All right. We're going to listen to Sadhguru. Understand this before you smoke weeds. Eye-opening speech. 478,000 views on that, and it's on the law of attraction coaching. Well, they've likened themselves to a four-wheeled, man carrier there, coaching. I'm, finding that word standing out, coaching, automotive. Then we're going to watch a video called Watch This and Think Twice Before You Buy His Tickets. Must see, 2018 to 2019. The channel is Stranger Than Fiction. Then we're going for Reasons for Stop Eating Meat Immediately. 1,220,860 views. Weed astic dash we space spread fantastic. Weedastic dash we spread fantastic. That's from 15th of June 18. So this video that I'm bringing to you so far, it's got 1,222,000. Though it's a very interesting, powerful video. And Andy of the Sovereign Smith, Famalan, Eye of Creator. brought me, to be fair, Sad Guru, and it doesn't tell you it's Sad Guru, but it is, because I'm going to show you Sad Guru on Law of Attraction, where he's actually named, so you can see him. And then at this time, at Christmas, Xmas, this solstice time, I went down to Rugby in Warwickshire. Disclosure, yeah, that's where I've got some lineage and roots, and I was seeing some old acquaintances, and one of them brought me Herb Robert, the Wonder Herb. Now, YouTube, I know you're clever, I know you're fast. What's Herb Robert, the Wonder Herb? I'm gonna have a look at the chat room and see what your comments are, and then we're gonna watch. We are going to watch. I'll get rid of my history. Sadhguru next, all right. So rock and roll, rock on, Tommy. I'm skimming through the chat thread, so stand by. Yes, we had audio issues. Yeah, I had to. Absolutely, look at you. I'm catching up. Yeah, yeah. MG. Ah, I see now. Midnight Gardener. Your point. Very nice, Mandy. Looking pimp, sister. Alchemy, easy now. I forgot to see if there was any new dropping in. John, easy. How we doing? Of the Middleton clan. Menza. To just call you IQ. That should be your nickname, because I don't like saying Mr. Menza. Easy. John, yes. Alchemy. The full card magician. Now too many tools in here by Alchemy 432. Who are you? Alright, message automatically held for review. Hidden by MG. View deleted message. No, we'll leave it. Well done, MG. Thank you, brother. Justin, evening. Sister Angela, easy now. Sharing the love. Thumbs up, hearts, fist bumps. Okay, Jerry. Yes, they are hiding the keys to keep the way hidden. Indeed, it is. But sometimes they have to proclaim, put it out there. We see how the purported house of God, for want of another way of putting it, does what they do. These paper proclamations and ways of. Let we not forget, what have we got in 2011, was it? Moto Proprio, and we brought you the other Bull Papilles and everything else. So everyone around the world, around the plane, whatever is doing this, is talking. It's not just us. It's not just Andy and Dave and SPLs, and it's just truly incredible what you can actually find. And then when you do your due diligence and research, and you're like, well, yeah, Italian family and lineage to think of and to correct, and it's just truly incredible. It really is. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I can't multitask, so listen, it's more called multitasking. With ADHD, it's a breeze. Yes, it is. I'm on phone. I'm back in. Unlawful eviction imminent. Nice one, Mandy. That's it. The only way to do what we do, and when folks say to me, "You will never stop, Dave. You do so much," is that's what we do. Indigos can, light workers, crystals, rainbows. We haven't got anything. We're not afflicted. It's just that we're built differently with the upgrade to the drones and the who lives in a house like this, and the ones that can't think outside the box, the ones that won't or don't ever think of asking, or looking or logical progression or any kind of authority questioning of and I don't know. It's just the way that the realm is. We can't answer for everybody. You can only answer for yourself. But our energy, my energy, I wish I wish I could sell you some or give you some, give it away. I'd take some slow, and you give me some. I'll give you some fast. Respect, old Mandy. Thank you for sharing that. Alison, you watch Controversy 7, all right? Nice one. Yeah, I've been watching for about 6 months, to be fair. Philip Pullman, his Dark Materials. Jesuits, Muzak channel, excellent. Thank you, sister. It's true, long history. Yep, it's all true. It's there. That's why we're referencing it. It's not made up stories. It's not hearsay. It is actual substance backed, and it's referenceable. That's what I mean. It's full disclosure. It's there for you. St. Peter's, yeah, it's not actually. The Vatican is separate to Italy. It's a separate nation. Men's with the links, nice one. Who's that? Joe Star. Where's Jonesy at these days? Where's he gone? Ewok, easy. Nice to see you. To see you, nice. Alan. Yes, I am your man, Andy, and you are ours. Easy. Andy Star 123. Vatican City, State, Spiritual City of London, Fiscal, Washington, Military, the three independent state cities in the world, which are separate nations to the land masses that they are located on, and they all have the obelisks, different sizes, and they are representative of what? Yes, and many crazy things that you can find when you look and research. Yes, respect, Menzo. Nonna, easy. Hello, brothers and sisters. Late. Come on, Nonna, keep up. I've sent you an email, Nonna. I hope you got it. Have a look at that. And yeah, we'll talk in the morning. Back on the job. Is it the truth though? In capitals? What you doing? Still star. It's not funny. Easy. I've seen Jesus Jones on FB in a new group. All right. Yeah, I've seen him for a bit. I don't know if I've upset him or not. I don't know. I hope not. I don't think so. I'll have to check. Right, we're going for the next video. Right, Sadhguru. There's going to be a minute silence while I swap over the controls. All right, fam. Bear with me. Lucky 33. Poignant. 9 thumbs up. Thank you very much. Thumbs down. Why have you given us a thumbs down? Was it the beginning? I dare say it might have been. I'll accept that. Take it on the chin. Yeah, but please share wherever you want. It's down for sharing, and news and politics is what we're calling it, because as you know, we don't do politics and we don't do legal so much. The religion, politics, legal, so all deadly traps there amongst the money and the language. There's 5 good deadly traps. So, and then you got your instruments, that's 6. It's before we start really. So it's all there for sharing, and thank you very much. I'm going to mute minutes silence, and then you'll get Sadhguru on. Thank you. Stand by.
Study released late last week by the U.S. National National Transportation Board found that states that have legalized cannabis are seeing increases in car crashes compared to states where cannabis is not legal.
Cannabis, legalization.
I never touched the substance, but just look at my eyes and see, they're always stoned. Is it true that this human mechanism is the most sophisticated chemical factory on the planet? So if you know how to manage this well, you can produce what you want in this. Anyway, there was an Israeli scientist. He was doing research on cannabis and its impact on the neurological system. In about 4.5 years, he came up with this. He said, there are millions of cannabis receptors in our brain. But why? So he threw this information to all kinds of scientific disciplines to find out why in human brain there are millions of cannabis receptors. Many funny things happened around the world in this context. Then the neurologist came up with this and said, the brain is expecting that you will produce cannabis within the system. It's not expecting you to smoke. It's expecting you produce that so that it becomes a mood equalizer for you all the time. But most human beings have become inefficient chemical factories, or they're just lousy CEOs managing a great factory, so they start smoking from outside. It's not a moral issue for me. But the thing is, there is substantial studies which are being put down by those few activists who want to promote it. There is substantial studies to show that your decision-making, certain dimensions of your brain, particularly about decision-making, are sufficiently suppressed. If you smoke marijuana for 30 days, this will last for 4 to 5 years. Your decision-making is clearly affected. With that kind of mind, with that kind of a brain, if you enter the court and I'm putting my life in your hands, I don't want a cannabis-smoking lawyer for me. I don't want a cannabis-smoking surgeon to work upon me. If he's just smoking on the street corner, not doing anything to anybody, it's his problem. But definitely I don't want my surgeon to be on marijuana and do surgery on me. Yes or no? Do you want? Nor do I want other drivers, because I drive at a certain speed, I don't want other drivers who are smoked out driving with me. I don't want. Nor do I want my driver ever, if at all if I sit in the back seat, to have smoked and then driving. If you want that, you choose, but we don't want that. Most people don't want that because they know what it'll lead to. So, what we are looking at recreation, we have made it this way. What this means is essentially, today, 70% of the American population is on prescription medication. Rest of the world is trying to catch up. People are starting medicines very early on their life. The remaining 30%, of course, are going on things that you're talking about. Why just stop with cannabis? Why don't we do some cocaine? Because it really fires us up. I told you, it's not a moral issue for me. It's a question of whether it'll enhance your life or suppress your life. Whether it'll allow you to live your life full on, or will it make you a smaller life than the way you are, or what you're capable of. Nothing less than what you can do must happen in this life, isn't it? For whatever reason. Either because of your attitudes or your stress or your drug or for whatever reason, you should not become a human being less than what you could be. You must maximize this life because all you have in this life is how intense and profound is your experience of life, that's all there is. And half the time if you're dazed out, you will miss that possibility. But if you come to me, I can teach you a way. Simply you can sit here and be stoned out. No, really. Not just me, I do this to any number of people, thousands of people, they just sit there and boom. Every day in the morning I can show you millions of people who close their eyes, tears of ecstasy dripping, because there is a way. There is a way to activate this system because there's no more complex chemistry on the planet than this one. When everything is here, it's best to learn to use this. If you invest some time early on in your life, very effortlessly you can get here.
Well, there you go. Let's write this out. What did you think to Sadhguru? Smoked out. I love the way he speaks. Such a lovely, warm accent. Seems very sincere in what he says, how he sees it. Yeah, he's right in what he says. You can't be out there governing your well, in his opinion, he says, let me choose my words carefully. Some might say in the realm of common law, harm, injury, and loss, if you're putting yourself and cognitive reactions and subconscious and conscious at an impaired rate of operation functionality, we're talking synaptic cortexes, memory function, observation function, multitasking. Sister Mandy, let me just say that, yeah, you can multitask, sister, but there are limits, aren't there? Yeah, everyone out there with the alleged dispositions of these things of which we know as bullshit for one, but ADHD and autism, autistic spectrum, hyperactivity, and all of this stuff, and Asperger's, wow. You can recognize that there is a limit, and the ones without that, the everyday, drones, we'll call them, the lambs, they're actually the lamps. The lambs are the lamps, to be fair, I believe. I'm seeing, hearing, and they couldn't do this. They're not able to take a mind suppressant, a neurotoxin, whether it be organic and it's not getting to substance and drug, and but common law, harm, injury, and loss. If you are not under the influence of alcohol, but if you smoked out and you wipe out a family, how would you feel? If you've made a stupid mistake and you didn't look and you wiped out your family and you lived, how would you feel from a mistake? It's not that it's illegal, we'll argue that it's unlawful there. You've got a lawful obligation. So disregard all the politics and all the previous hype. We enter in a new cognizance here of governance, of responsibility, of respect. In that previous video, it said that the God is a jealous God, and that nobody seems to fear God and rules and everything, and everyone just does what they want. They're doing it. They're just loving it, and we've got a message to hit back. We've got an ethos, a morality code to reinstall, the re-evolution, of things. And this man, he purports to be able to sit there and get himself stoned. There are cannabinoid receptors within our brain, so the brain expects to receive cannabinoids that are released. So much like the Buddhist monks of the Shaolin Temple and so forth that harvest and manifest LSD naturally through the bottom and base of the spine and so forth through deep transcendental and other such meditations. We've got this possibility over in India. So we'll not compare India and China now, but we know of the linkages and the journeys and the teachings of. So truly incredible, that truly incredible. I do want to play this Muhammad Ali one, but I reckon the reasons for stopping to eat meat would be better to play now and then Muhammad Ali. But it is good. It is worth waiting for. This is only 9 minutes. We'll do this one. We'll carry on. Now you've met, if you hadn't already met, Sadhguru or Sadhguru, however we say it, and we're going to go this way. We're going to get a bit of silence again while I switch, and then we'll crack on with this, and then straight over to Muhammad Ali. Wow, Cassius Clay, I believe, also commonly known as, or in the circuit. Stand by. Stay sober.
We live in times when faith and spirituality have become very inflammable.
Don't put them in the same basket.
Okay, let's talk about faith first. We live in times when faith, for certain, has become a very inflammable, easily politicized conversation. If faith should have been personal today, it's not. Today, you actually have decisions taken in the name of somebody's faith being injured. So you mentioned food right now. I read somewhere that you said there's nothing religious about the act of food. Just eat what you like.
No. I didn't say that. Eat
what's good for you?
I said eat what's good for you.
Okay, eat what's good for you.
It's a very different thing.
Okay, I correct myself. Eat what's good for you. But today we have a highly politicized conversation around banning beef in the name of faith.
It's definitely not good for you to eat it.
Beef or any meat?
I'll come to that.
Okay, so I'm offering that as one example of how I see a politicized conversation taking place around faith. How do you reconcile the faith of a large number of people with questions of individual liberty? I know I have read that you like books written by Salman Rushdie. We were the first country to ban him again in the name of faith. How do we reconcile faith with individual liberty?
See, it's always been said, faith moves mountains. Yes, but it freezes your mind. But the greatest crime you can do on this planet is to move a mountain. You should not move a mountain, it should be where it is. It is not just dropped from somewhere, it's grown because of various forces functioning in a particular way. Phenomenal activity has happened to build a mountain. You should never move a mountain. But people with frozen minds always want to move a mountain. Okay, having said that, when we say faith, it's an import for this culture. We have never had faith in this culture. You must look back little beyond 1,000 years since we've been under occupation. Here we have been told always, your life is your karma. Karma means action. Whose action? Your action. So what we are saying is, your life is entirely your making. There is no someone sitting up there and managing this for you. This is entirely yours. But for every action that you perform, whether physical, mental, emotional, energy-wise, whatever kind of action you perform, there is bound to be a consequence. If you're ready for the consequence, do whatever. If you're going to cry about the consequence, control the action right now. Based on this, now you came to food. See, the food consumption has been looked at very carefully in this country. If you just bring this back, the world will be healthy, do you understand? Here we have identified different type of people, what they should eat. If you're doing menial jobs, how you should eat. If you're doing trading, how you should eat. If you're into spiritual process, how you should eat. If you're into education, how you should eat. Why this is each person needs a different type of building of the body. You want to run 100 meters next to Mr. Bolt, what kind of food you should eat? You just want to work in Delhi, what kind of food you should eat? You want to think in a certain way, what kind of food you should eat? For all these, we have very clear prescriptions. Now, when it comes to food, what it means is, we are taking another life, whatever that is, it may be plant life, animal life, whatever. You're taking another life, ingesting it, and you have to make it your life. That's the whole thing. What is your life, what is that life, if you look at it? All life on this planet is coming from the earth. This body is also the same soil, this is also same soil. If there is an earthworm, that is also same soil. But see how it has become, how this has become, how that has become. If I give you like a mango or a banana?
Mango.
Mango. I know, you're ruling the state right now. Now, if you eat a mango, this mango becomes a woman in you. If I eat a mango, the same mango becomes a man in me. If a cow eats a mango, the same mango becomes a cow in the cow. Why is this happening? There is a certain information or software in you. Whatever you eat, it transforms it into a woman. If I eat, it transforms it into a man. If a cow eats, that becomes a cow. So, every life is happening the way it is happening because of a certain dimension of information, or in modern terminology, let's call it software. There is a certain software, which is an arrangement of information. Now, the idea is to eat as simple a software as possible. If you eat that kind of life, which is a very simple software, your ability to override that software and make it entirely a part of you is very good. As that software gets complex, more and more complex, your ability to integrate it goes down. So especially if it's a creature which has some sense of thought and emotion, if it has emotion, then you should not eat it. This is the understanding. An animal which has any emotion displays certain emotions, especially if it displays emotion which is near to human emotion, you should not eat it because it will not integrate itself, that animal nature will start manifesting itself. Or in other words, in India, today maybe in cities people do not know, you see in the villages, people have very intimate relationship with the cow. They have drunk the milk of that cow, their children are drinking the milk of that cow. There is a very deep relationship. If you do not know this, cow is one creature. If something happens to you and you are in some kind of grief or misery, you don't have to be near the cow. Wherever the cow is in your house, it'll start shedding tears for you. You know, I've seen this with my eyes, I couldn't believe. When somebody is dead in the house, what does a cow know? It is somewhere, simply tears flowing. So when it has such deep emotions, if you kill it, it's like killing a human being, it's murder or it's cannibalism. So because of that, this is not a faith thing, this is not a religious thing. We thought this is a fundamental sense. Why, when we are hungry, why can't I cut you up and eat you? What's wrong? What's wrong, I'm asking?
But what you're saying should be about many more animals than just the
Yes,
cow.
yes, of course.
And when it becomes about only the cow, then there is certainly a perception
It is
that
not…
it is a political decision or a religious decision.
No, I'm not talking about whatever the laws
This is
that are
not
happening.
about people getting up and saying it's cruel to be a meat eater. That would be a different argument.
I'm not even talking about cruelty, even cutting a plant is cruel, in my experience. But you have to do it. But if you're conscious of it, you will do it to the minimum possible extent, not do it wantonly. That's the whole thing. Now about this political ban about cow slaughter or whatever, this has many things. One thing is there is a sensitivity. Once you drink milk from the cow, she's like your mother. Killing your mother and eating her up is something people cannot digest in this country. Still 80% of the people belong to that category and they're hugely… there's a huge emotion. Such an emotion which, because they've always been made to be docile in a certain way, they have not violently reacted to it. But in some places, it has happened in villages and other places. There is already a beef ban in many villages just by a norm, not by any law, that you don't bring these kind of things into the village. I am not saying you must ban it or not ban it, I am saying the sensitivities of your population, without considering, you can't go do this blatantly. Because it is growing, it's becoming a growing business. India is becoming a major exporter of beef.
Yes.
That's not right. Even if somebody ate something, it is up to them, it's their personal taste, whatever. But now you're promoting it and you're making it grow, there is serious concern, but our people don't express it. Our people don't go out on the street and not going to kill anybody because they killed a cow. So, ban is not what is needed, more education was needed rather than banning.
Well, apologies about that. If you was offended by the shots of dead animal, I forgot our four-legged friend was in a little bit of a worse for wear state there. Let me go to the chat room, look at the comments and see what he's saying. Then we're going on to Cassius Clay and his rhyme and poem and certain little bits of information I'd like you to latch up upon, other than the prolific messages that we had in the first video from the Vatican that I brought to you there for you to contemplate and research and have a look at. Yeah, it's got a message in it too. And if you've been brought up with old school Run DMC and hip hop, NWA, Beastie Boys, you know, 80s, early 90s rap, and what happened with the control mechanism, and furthermore to Wu-Tang Clan, Method Man, ODB, Old Dirty Bastard, and what happened with the control functioning, let alone Biggie and Tupac, and stuff like that was all in the media. And then obviously then the other ones took over, we'll say, and it became full on commercial and bought out into the bafflement symbols of One Eyes and Jay-Z and so forth, so on, leading up to where we have now. So there's a big old game in the media and with the animals and with the, you know, what we're covering here. And if you know, I've cut down my meat intake, and I know red meat's bad. I know that you are what you eat, and I don't think that the meat's handled right. I don't think it's killed right. I don't think it's fed right. I don't think anything, you know, you know, when you look at, as me and Matthew were chatting about, silverback gorilla or somebody, maybe G, eats vegetarian diet and it gets mamping. A horse eats a vegetarian diet, it gets massive, it gets lean. You know, cows eat vegetarian diet. Other animals eat vegetarian leaf, fruit, things like this, and yeah, they do all right. So we've been told lies about the meat factor as well. And as a young one, I always thought I needed meat every day from my mother to stay healthy. Turns out I don't. Turns out I don't need meat every day, and you know, you feel better for it if you eat something which is energy. Dr. Sebi, SEBI. Look at him, Electric Foods, and you'll find out. Um, truly incredible, truly incredible. Um, the information that you can find out. So it's your choice. We just bring it to you. All right, I told a fib. There's another one here. What is the purpose of life? We're gonna go over the 1,477,000. 1,477,197,000 views. What? 1.44477-097. 477,097. Yeah, views. Gosh, no hundreds. Sorry, I'm tired. Hold me up on my numbers. Yeah, we're gonna watch this one. 48 minutes though. We're not gonna watch it all, but it's quite a good watch. I'll encourage you to visit Stranger Than Fiction. This was last year, nearly almost just on a year old. It's just over a year old, December 15th, 2018. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. Respect to this man. This man was under a lot of pressure at the time, Muhammad Ali. I'm not going to get into what this guy is going to get into, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. But yeah, respect to him. He's so honourable. He's such a lovely character. And I know, obviously, I never met him. I don't know him, but what I see of him and how he represents and what he does and the symbols that that he must have been seeing and all of everything. And you got to respect him for his freedom and for the oppression that he's been under, and to keep his calm in all of that, and to know that he could knock all of these pale, stale, male, chauvinistic, sadistic, nasty, vulture, usurping, deceptive, non, direct, completely slimy mothers out with just a little tap, and he didn't. He resisted it all. So for him to come on this show and do this, and all I'm going to say is respect, all right, and it's worth the wait. What is the purpose of life after? And Herb Robert, I've already told you about. Yeah, what are we saying in the chat room? Let's quickly have a look. Refresh. Thank you to the 34. Joneses pops up. Easy now. Where have you been, brother? I was just on about you. Did somebody give you a nudge, or did you just happen to turn up by chat by the manifestation? Nice one. Nice to see you. To see you. Nice. Chef's in the house. Jamie, I'll do. Plant-based diet recommended by God. Wise chap. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Herbivores, herbalists. Incredible what you can get. Let food be your medicine, and let medicine be your food. I don't like dead animals. I hit a rabbit when I was going to work once. I was going up a hill, going in Barnsley, going to ASOS. Oh, about 5 in the morning. Frosty as well. And I nearly took myself off the road, swerving for the rabbit. Oh, horrible. Yes. Mad. Easy now. Well done. Still eat a bit of fish and I have chicken. I need to cut it out. I'm not sure about this vegetarian corn business. Before slaughterhouses had glass wall, yeah, exactly. We wouldn't all do it. If we had to kill it, pluck it, gut it, all of that business, half of us wouldn't eat meat. Telling you. It's interesting how the India you revere the cow and what they're saying there. We don't have a law, we just have a rule, and everyone in the village respects it. Don't bring your stinking dead animal meat in here. I'm like, wow, that's if you was born until that, and you grew up in that, and you never knew about cooked meat, and you was in that village in India, and then you went out to the rest of the world, and you started smelling that other smell, and you was like, England will go Anglo, bacon, sausage, cafes, side road cafes, all of these kind of barbecues in the summer, all this kind of smells, yeah, and you never smelt that. Or if you're in America, Australia, I know you guys, hot continents, Africa, wherever you are, Mediterranean, not leave anyone out, but if it's hot and you're cooking, they smelled that meat, they come over, maybe they try it, but they probably be sick because they've never eaten meat before, so it'd be really chewy, it'd be wrong consistency, and they'd find it hard work if it was a steak, if it was a burger, I don't know what they'd be like. So interesting. You got to think about the price, the upbringing, the injections. Think about this for those that G-Star told me the story about chicken catching, and once they've done chicken catching and seen what they do and how they're transported and holding them upside down and their head scraping on the floor because you got 5 chickens in a hand and stuff. Documentary that he'd watched, I was like, wow, that's pretty hardcore, mate. Yeah, and I don't know, it's some I know which documentary he means. It's a film from Asia. I forget the title. It'll come to me later. And it shows you a lot of the way the world manages meat, and yeah, it's not good. It's not honourable, but they've got away with the organic and have put all these chemicals in. So you got like 50,000 chickens under a shed. When they spread all the feed, it goes on the floor, but they also crap and shit on the floor. So they're now pecking up feed and shit. So in a chicken, in that meat, it's powered by, fed by, in the dark, probably with no feathers, no beak. Only if you classify it a chicken, like we had with the KF whatever chain scandal, Kentucky Fried something, wasn't it? I don't know if you could call it chicken, but yeah. And there was argumentation, and allegedly, we'll say, I haven't got proof of it. It was out there. What quality it is, what and the bacteria that they eat. So they put extra what? What do you think they put in? Extra what? Antibiotics into the feed of the chicken. Yeah, it allegedly contains other stuff like female hormones as well. I don't know why estrogen could be found in chicken meat, traces of, but there is for some reason, traces of antibiotics in the meat because the chicken pecks up the food from the floor and gets its poo in there, so the food has the antibiotic in. What? Yeah, it's just wrong. You look at what's in milk and stuff, and how they label it up, and if it's a poisonous ingredient that's liable to shorten your life, it'll be in really tiny print, so you don't really want to, you can't read it because the legal parameters for tiny print is about 0.6, and most man can't read past 0.10. So, once you get past 30, 40 and your eyes start dithering, you've no chance of reading that tiny ingredients. So, food for thought, literally. Food for thought. We're moving on. Watch this and think twice before you buy his tickets. Must see. Yeah, Stranger Than Fiction. Cassius Clay. Here we go. Short silence and we're cracking on. Time's going. We've got a mission. An agenda. Here we go. See you in a minute.
Have you had to work hard at it, or is it just sheer genius?
It comes to me naturally, and I do it mainly because of my fights, little simple rhymes. I just wrote a poem the other day entitled Truth. It says, the face of truth is open, the eyes of truth are bright, the lips of truth are ever closed, the head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward, the gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt, truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching, the voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple, all you sow you reap. The soul of truth is flaming, the heart of truth is warm, the mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow, truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life, truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross, wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal, immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure, truth shall hold to the last. That's a masterpiece.
Now, did you...
And another thing, when you say integration, it comes on the intermarriage too, right? All
Right,
been together.
right, sure.
And I'm sure no intelligent white person watching this show, or no intelligent white man in his or her right white mind, want black boys and black girls marrying their white sons and daughters, and in return introducing their grandchildren as half brown, kinky-haired black people.
I wouldn't object to that.
Well, you wouldn't, but a lot of them would.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people know this is the point.
What I'm trying to say is this. You don't have it. You say you don't, but you don't have it. You really ain't gonna have it. You're on the show and you gotta say that.
That's not true.
Why would you want to do that?
Because I don't think I'm any different from you see.
Yeah, we much different.
I mean, I think society's made us different.
You know we're different. We all together.
Society's made us different.
No, not society. God made us different.
No, we're just human beings. He made all of us.
We all, listen, bluebirds fly with bluebirds, red birds want to be with red birds. Listen, tell me when I'm wrong. Pigeons want to be with pigeons. Tell me when I'm right. We should have more, they don't have intelligence, but yet they stay together. We should have more intelligence than them, right? Buzzards are with buzzards. Buzzards are with buzzards. Bluebirds are with bluebirds. They all are birds, but they've got different cultures. The eagles like to hang out in the mountains. The buzzard like to fly around the desert.
Well,
the bluebird like to fly around the trees and the grass.
Certain problems a buzzard mating with a sparrow, wouldn't there?
What?
There was certain
right. And we have the problems too. No, I don't see no black and white couples in England or America walking around proud, holding their children.
That's because society
and going out.
That's society's fault. I mean, we've got to educate people around it.
Well, life is too short for me to be catching hell for something like that. I'd rather go and be my own. I have a beautiful daughter, beautiful wife. They look like me. We're all happy, and I don't have no trouble. I have no trouble. I ain't that much in love with no woman to go through all that hell. Ain't no one woman that good. You understand?
I understand. Yeah, I do understand. I understand. But I think it's sad that
it ain't sad because I want my child to look like me. Every intelligent person wants his child to look like him. I'm sad because I want to blot out my race and lose my beautiful identity. Chinese love Chinese. They love the little slanted-eyed, pretty brown-skinned babies. Pakistanis love their culture. Jewish people love their culture. A lot of Catholics don't want to marry number of Catholics. They want the religion to stay the same. Who want to spot up yourself and kill your race? You a hater of your people if you don't want to stay who you are. You shame what God made you. God didn't make no mistake when he made us all like we were.
I think that's a philosophy of despair.
Despair.
I really do.
It ain't no despair. Number one, can't no woman. Let me tell you something. I want to tell you. Listen, no woman on this whole earth, not even a black woman in Muslim countries, can please me and cook for me and socialize and talk to me like my American black woman. No woman, at last, is a white woman, can really identify with me and my feelings and the way I act and the way I talk. And you can't take no Chinese man and give him no Puerto Rican woman and holler about we in love and you emotionally in love and physically, but really they're not happy because she's gonna hear some Puerto Rican music, he's gonna hear some Chinese music, and they're gonna be clashing all the time. It's just nature. You can do what you want, but it's nature to want to be with your own. I want to be with my own.
Yes, Ali did tell the truth. However, there is a little bit hidden truth that most people don't talk about. You see, there was nothing wrong with all races living amongst each other and doing business with each other. But we had our own communities as ethnicity of people. In biblical time, the Israelites of the 12 tribes lived among each other. And the Gentiles lived among each other, and so on and so forth. The reason this was done is because it kept out a whole lot of confusion when it came to education, teaching, and marriage. When there was a melting pot as of today in the United States, which is nothing but a corporation of lies, there is no true history of one's origin. They tell you about these all Southern men that saved this country and made the country home of the free and home of the brave, which is kind of ludicrous. This is why interrogation was such a bad ordeal. But just don't take my word for it. Let's look in some scriptures real quick and see exactly what the scripture says about interracial dating as well as marriage. Numbers 36:7. So shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel remove from tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. And every daughter that possesses an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Israel may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers. Neither shall the inheritance remove from one tribe to another tribe, but every one of the tribes of the children of Israel shall keep himself to his own inheritance, even as the Lord commanded Moses. So did the daughters of Zelophehad. And they were married unto the families of the sons of Manasseh, the sons of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their fathers. We're not making this up. You don't have to believe it, but that was said in biblical times, and it still stands today. But before we continue, let's bring out one more in Tobit. Tobit 4 and 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father. And take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe, for we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abram, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed, and their children and their seed shall inherit the land. The moral of the scriptures tells us a story why Negroes have so many problems in this land called United States of America. Yes, they are multi-talented across the board, from singing to rapping to boxing to tennis, hockey, whatever. But the sad point is they feel like they need to fit in. Just ask Tiger Woods. A man that don't want to accept that he's Negro, but he calls himself quadrilegic. You know what? I don't even know if I'm saying it right, so forgive me. But the moral of this testament, before we get into the actual boxing, is why there's so many problems in today's sport arena. Because you're never looked upon as human. You're not even looked upon as a guy who's a good guy that is Negro. You are looked upon as 3/5 of a human, less than cattle, less than garbage, less than the scrattle on your feet. This is why you have so many problems. So you think if you marry outside your race, you would show a better deed and you'd be accepted. This is why your children's children have so many problems. This is why your bloodline have so many problems. It's got nothing to do with nothing. We were only put here to learn a lesson as human beings. But man came from the south and part of the north and took the land from the Indians and segregated it and poisoned the land with his chemicals and his dictatorship and his brutes of force and his armies. And now we have this thing called boxing that is totally poisoning young people to want to be great. The music industry is totally poisoning the souls of young men and women of rituals and brotherhood. Believe it or not, these scriptures are very powerful for this documentary because it tells nothing but the truth, and the whole truth will always set you free. Mike Tyson told the truth. He told the truth about the ins and outs, and the most exciting part about the red and blue, how they strike each corner, and it's about the Republican Democrats. That tells you that the elites run this, man. It's like in biblical times, they had the gladiators perform for them, for Caesar. Well, all of these fightings and sports figures are nothing but entertainment for the elites. But Cassius Clay, known as Ali today, had a bigger problem because he was being controlled and manipulated by a man by the name of Elijah Muhammad. See, Elijah Muhammad has a lot to do with all of this craziness about people following and paying off. Malcolm X was one, but we'll get to that close to the end of the story. I'll follow up with that. Ali was a good guy. He's a country boy, and all he knew was fighting. He was an honest guy. but he was in the public's eye, and he was becoming rich. And the Muslims set their eye on him because they know they could get a nice penny from him. Ali knew half the things that were going on were lies, but he was so afraid of going against them because they could turn his life upside down. If you remember the movie with Will Smith, when Ali found out they were lying to him, he fired them for about 48 hours and then hired them back because he didn't want the backlash, right? I'm gonna show you a clip how Ali tap dances around the key questions that this guy is gonna ask.
My stand for my religious belief, my stand for my people, speaking up for my people, all of them are with me, and that's all I want.
Can I come back to your association with the black Muslims? Have you paid them a lot of money?
Well, this is another propaganda thing. It's a good question that people has here in America has tried to paint the image where I was being used by the Islamic religion just for prestige and for money. I'd like to say that after all of my fights, white America, as I said earlier, took 90% first, which left me 10%. I divorced my first wife. Cost me about $200,000 in alimony. The judge, he was against me too. I was married 11 months, no children, and I have to pay a woman $1,200 a month for 10 years. This is another thing directed just to me.
Yes, sir. Ali knew exactly what was going on. He tap danced around that question the way people tap dance at ice skating. But he did the right thing because he had family, and he didn't want nothing happening to his babies or nor his wife. So he played the game. But the sad part about Ali, how he ridiculed Malcolm X and said Malcolm went bad, he went evil. That was kind of a low blow because Malcolm was nothing but good to Ali. So nevertheless, that troubles Ali today. Doing the Thriller in Manila with Don King was the worst thing that ever happened to black fighters. We'll have a clip later on to talk about Don King, but we're gonna keep it on Ali just for a couple of more minutes. Or half of that, right? Ali's a good guy, man. We're not here to ridicule him. He's the best of all times. The whole point of the documentary is to show you that a good guy like Ali, a wholesome guy, man, good family man, good to his kids, a good dude, they got to him. They changed him. Ali had to take the oath. He had to be a part of this madness. And even today in his sickness, it bothers him. He never talks about it, but it's like a prisoner being in prison who gets out and never talks about it. It bothers him. The old contracts back in the day, they were all bogus. All the commissions was robbing them. All the promoters was robbing them. Then it comes down to King, he started robbing them even more. Ali fought a lot of fights. He was fighting, selling out arenas, and wasn't getting half what he was fighting for. Boxing was getting badder, or should we say worse, than the music industry. It's all about the show. It's all about the fans. It's all about how to sell something. This is the problem with baseball and all the rest of the sports. How can one man make $100 million to hit a ball? And it's become utterly ridiculous. And you people sitting back paying $50, $100 to $200 seats to see them. You got to be out of your mind. Sports, music has always been ran by the mob. Now the mob has gotten smart. They got lawyers to write up their contracts. Yes, they've joined corporate America. They stopped so much of the killing. And so what they do now is ridicule you, make you look bad in front of the public, make you look like a pedophilia, a pedophile. They make you look sarcastic and crazy. See, that's how they do it now. They kill you with the fountain pen instead of killing you with the gun. And also they kill you with the brotherhood because most of them too are very demonic. Floyd Mayweather got his hands in the pyramid, much like the picture next to him. My. The reason Floyd put his hands in the pyramid because Floyd's part of the brotherhood. Some may even say he signed his name in blood long ago. These people have left us a resume to view, and their resume is horrible. But we're going to review it and tell you the truth and not be hidden anymore. Let's pull up some friends of Floyd. This whole picture is satanic. The little lights that's above, there's really a woman with her legs open and short arms. Now, Floyd may disagree, but we're going to prove it. We're going to bring a picture. Look at the picture to the left. That's the Baphomet with the 6-point star. Notice the woman got a leg spreaded with an arm spreaded, being inserted with a penis. Floyd's friend throws up the goat with a number 1. Floyd's hand is pointing down to number 1, and his buddy is pointing to Floyd. Notice Floyd's friend has his hands in the goat. Notice got number 1. Look at the things above their head. That's the goat again. Floyd is pointing down. Let's bring it up even closer. Let's highlight it so that you can see that we're not picking on these people. This is the resume they left for us to view. Why is he pointing down? Because Floyd is following the rituals. This is how he get paid, y'all. Everything is about the Baphomet and the sellout. See, pointing up, pointing down. The Baphomet is indicating that he has both parts. That's why they're so big on transgender, because the Baphomet has a male part and a female part. That's why they're so huge on transgender. You understand? This picture says it all. And all you so-called elders and men of the Lord that wear these 6-point stars on your uniform, your hats, you should be ashamed of yourself, because that's a hexagram. Solomon was ridiculed for worshiping strange gods. It's really the hexagram of Moloch. So if you're wearing a 6-point star, you're telling the world that you worship the Baphomet. Check out this interview with Floyd.
Forbes magazine reported that you are the world's highest paid athlete, earning last year $85 million. Are they correct?
It could be a little. It could be a little bit more than that. More than that. Yes.
What is it like? You didn't grow up rich, did you?
I had the best of both worlds.
You did?
Yes. Well, you know, I stayed with my mother at one particular time. In New Brunswick, New Jersey, we lived 7 deep in a 1-bedroom apartment, no hot water.
You call that the best of both worlds?
You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
You have to let me finish. But also, at one particular time, I stayed with my dad as a kid, and my dad, of course, you know, he hustled, you know, in the inner city of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he made sure I had to finer things in life when I was young, also. So I say the best of both worlds.
I understand. How does it feel though to have everything? That you can go to any store and buy anything. How's that feel like?
Well, what I come to find out, it's not always about, you know, the money. You know, of course, I'm Floyd Money Mayweather, and of course, who don't like to make a lot of money, or who don't like to finer things in life? But if you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have no freedom, then it's just like you being broke. So I come to find out that my freedom is more important than anything.
Now you had your freedom taken away for a couple of months.
So that's what I learned. Yeah. My freedom is very important, because when I was locked up, I couldn't do nothing.
Floyd is owned by the mob, the elite, and a string of other people. They still own Floyd. They don't really start realizing how deep they end until they start to get older. The elites equals the mob and the high priests, Masonic Masons. And that's just the truth. You remember when the show first started, when Floyd and Robert's dad was going at it? Ain't it ironic? Before and after the fight, they hug like things have never happened. Didn't I tell you in the beginning of the film that it's all hype? Proof in the pudding that they don't have beef, y'all. It's all hype to sell tickets and watch pay-per-view. That's all it is. They told them what to do. Okay. Why did 50 and Floyd have this feud? We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but let's just get to the nitty-gritty very brief. 50 Cent had no intentions on staying with Floyd Kemp for very long, because 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson that is a very self-centered bastard. He's the type of guy that wants all the glory. 50 was only at Floyd's camp to see exactly what he was doing, to be a spy. That's all he was doing. 50 is the type of guy that wants you to chase him and do what he say and follow up behind him. Floyd started peeping some of the things 50 was doing and just didn't like his flow. And to show you that 50 was a dictator, he wanted to control Floyd's promotion without Floyd's consent. Well, if Floyd hadn't got rid of 50, that's just the beginning of these two guys who sold their soul. Yes, they did. The picture indicated all, right? That's just the beginning of what 50 was going to do to Floyd. Floyd, 50 was sent to your camp by the elite. And I think you know that. That's why you throw your hands in the pyramid when you talk. I know a lot of you saw the money they
Okay, what I'm going to do here is just yeah, skip that bit. It's not too important. We watch that, to be fair. Let me just go on and see. There was another interesting bit though later on I wanted to get into, if it's on this video. No, it's not. So we're finished with that. We'll cut it there. Let me go to the comments and see what we've got. What is the purpose of life? Is coming up, then we're finished. All right, so thank you for sticking with Stranger Than Fiction. Thank you very much for that. If you haven't subscribed to that channel, go and have a look. A lot of good work going off there. A lot of insightful information, reinforcement of fragmented information that you find elsewhere that you can put together. And it may seem fragmented and not relevant, but it does all tie in with the research and the control and the systems and the messages and the media and the music. And it isn't very nice to know that you're in a war and that you are amongst others that are not like us. And we have to stand alone. We have to put ourselves out there. We have to sacrifice. We have to have faith. We have to be careful. And time is short, not just for any particular reason, but the where we're at, the information at hand. It's we're trying not to have an overload here. We're trying to shuffle it and put it and assemble it and give you the way out before we go full on, if you like, with the next part, the journey, the next leg that is before us, the family, the channel, the movement, your journey, mankind, the mission, the divine matrix, the ether. It's make of it what you want. But there's stuff out there. We have to stop and just say, has anyone else been looking at this? Anyone else seen this? Is it just me? Wow. That's all I can say. So yeah, thank you, Room. What we got? 39. We're doing well. Good stuff. Thank you, Jenny, Jerry, Rasta. Watch that, bro. Deep. What we got? Link there. Who's putting links in? Have you got a link? And you ain't got a. You're not blue. What's going on here? Nice one. Thank you very much. I'm not going to complain. Yes, I. Usual suspects the biggest trick. Yes, I. KB. K, I need to speak to you. Can you email me? I haven't got a number. I'm not on Facebook. Other than the SPL's profile, which yeah, I would like to chat with you and see yeah, just a few things. Can you email me? It's yeah, a good thing that we chat. I want to see how you are, check on you. Hope all is well. Mandy, Jonesy, Menza. All right, yeah, I've got your comments there. Come on, let's crack on. Last one. What is the purpose of life? Get ready for this. This one is brought to you by Sadhguru. What's the channel? Oh, Sadhguru. There we go. Published February 20th, 2015. Sadhguru answers a question about the purpose of life and explains why having a God-given purpose will only restrict life. You've got a transcript, and I'll share the screen and show you. Last one. Here we go. Thank you. This is important. Let me mute. See you in a minute. The man himself. There we go. Sadhguru. I'll just press play. Stop. No. Advert. Link. Crazy. Sorry. Let me just turn the screen share off. The memento. I think we've completed it. That was yeah, 1,477,000 views. That's it's getting a lot of hits there. Sadhguru. Have a look at him. Check him out. Thank you to all the channels that have allowed us to feature this cross correlation after the publication of the 3 documents that we've got on SPL's Pro and the videos that are on splspro.com and the videos that are on SPL's Pro on YouTube. We're very close. Trust me, we are very close. We've seen, we've got, we're aware. We've put everything out there. So, if this infestation of energy, life, and so forth, disconnection of man from nature, assumptions and presumptions of this fucking retarded society. Sorry for the profanity, but it's past the watershed. It's 23. What? 11:11, David. Yes, this is a fucking profanity. Then that means the angels are with us. Look, the weird thing though about 11:11, I thought it was all good and gravy, but it turns out it might be connected with some kind of code of the house of. So for those that say, oh, David, and your 11:11 and having that number and the affinity with the spiritual connection of all is good or whatever, and it's really a cover for a Masonic, hoo-ha, pray, omen too. No, it's 11:11, and it come from my mum, and you've seen my mum on that video from Sun and Moon, bless her, merry as she was in the solstice and so forth. But yeah, that's it. That's how it is, and I don't know really. I don't know what more to say on that. It's quite interesting. The 11:11 is just numbers, belief, faith, synchronicity, and it turns out that the evil ones among us and the sadistic, satanic ones and the paganistic ones, that we're bringing to you and we've explained about and seen, and how the Jesuits and so forth, cardinals and popes and wars and allegiances and houses of and secret clubs and bloodlines. My goodness, yeah, I've I've got this show on the road, and so for anybody to argue that it might be me that be the deceptive one and using numbers and so forth and parts of clubs, then well, no, they take stuff and they use it against us. They take stuff, and then they go, it is ours now, or we burnt that library of Alexandra, and now we have this. You shall not know, for no one shall know, and it has always been this, and they change it, and then that's it, and the ones that know slowly fade away, and then we become a species with amnesia. The jobs, the hours, I don't claim any of this work. It's just the overall mission at hand is brought to you by the love and family and work of YouTube, the intellectual property, man hours, and so forth. I'm just putting it together and showing you where it's from, other aspects of the research and documentation and sources and codes and beliefs and due diligence, research, discovery, cross correlation, examination, researching the research, because that's what's happening now. It's all changing faster. Some of it's being destroyed quicker than we can actually learn it and get it out there. There's supersessions of, that wall aspect, building a wall. Very, very good analogy there. America and the wall of safety. Yes, let's build a wall. Let's close the borders. Wow. Oof. Sounds horrible and scary to me, but it's the powers that be. So before you become susceptible to these powers that be and assumptions and presumptions and so forth and so on, you need you to know how to protect yourself before you start getting scared with whatever is going off under the international foreign war, political, asylum seeking, EU, UN games there, just stories and shows. It just really is. So it's so easily solved. We could so easily solve this with all the technology and the machines and the programming and the 3D printing and the endless resources that are currently here that if were well managed equally, fairly under equity, as as we all have a share, right, under the grantor of dominion and so forth, yeah, with the testamentary evidence that we've got here from the manuscripts of. Okay, it's long past doubted that, the claim of right of what man's after is the share of the earth's blah, 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 the earth's mineral and wealth resources amongst other your claim of right. Okay, so these corporations are claiming the water and the minerals and the oils and making plastics and manufacturing things and selling it to us with value added tax and all these things that are put on it. But where have they got it from? They've got it from the realm of where we all live. And who gave it them? Well, nobody. They claimed it. They set up. They got licenses, and they functioned on as a corporate entity, claiming and staking and paying and moving and producing. So, say you're selling bottled water, you're getting it from a spring. Well, everyone's got equity to that water. Nobody's made it. No man made it. So, with that said, you get rights of access and granted license to and take from it. You bottle it up, you label it, and you sell it. So why can't we all do stuff like that? Well, we can. Why is it just corporations doing that? Well, because they get there first and claim it and lock it off. So how do we get past these big corporations with the money? Like, I can't say their names, but you've got, the names. You do what we've done and research and see what laws apply and how and yeah, internationally. They've got it wrapped up. It's very deep and it looks from the offset quite simple, but it's layered and it goes down and it's Nonna, we had a chat earlier, or somebody and I, ownership, following the something of Jesus, get rid of your possessions, compared it to ownership, was it? Trusts, access to, rights of usage. None of us actually own anything, do we? Because we don't own the atoms which it's made of, the items, and we don't own anything in this realm. We would possess it, but possess and possessions. I wouldn't say I possess anything, and I'm not possessed, and this, that, the other, because that's a spiritual, occultism type. Not occultism, no, that means secret. See, cognitive. It's a dark term, possession, satanic. So I would have the rights of use of, you see, and that's where I would differ to possessions and goods. Goods are for markets. So when they come with the warrant of execution for taking control of goods, order, and so forth, there are no goods here. There are no possessions. There's property that I have the rights of use of. I don't own any of it, no. No, so I haven't got anything here that's mine. There's property here, and it's allowed to be used by me. And you'll find that it's none of it, in my legal person's name. I'm simply the beneficiary of it. Bosh. So that's it in a nutshell. Paraphrase. So, well, we've come to get goods. Well, there's no goods here. There's receipts for everything. There's bills of sale. There's transfer, title deeds, everything like that. Thumbprints, autographs, all dated, witnessed, everything. Claimed and done, lock, stock. So anything you touch and take from this, there's a last will and testament in place. That's a good thing to have done. You don't have to wait till you're old. I can't reinforce this enough. You could even make a YouTube video, like I've said, and make a testamentary video. Obviously, you won't make it public. You'd make it unlisted, and you'd send it all your family members. And when they got open their email, they would see right now, tomorrow, this week, your last will and testament. So God forbid anybody have an accident. You've sent your family a link where you've just made an unlisted video. Nobody will ever see it. You just go and make it, try it on your phones, practice it, practice managing your assets. Think about what you've got. If something was to happen, if you are in a common law, relationship, yeah, oh, that's a bad word, isn't it? If you're in an agreement, if you're in a, common law man and wife, as you would argue there, where you've made an agreement, haven't you, man and woman? So if man and woman make an agreement, you've done that, and you've made it, you know, the meeting of the minds, maybe a contract, you would argue, but love's involved, so love and contract. Oh, well, that's a bit, yeah. So we go agreement and we go love, and it's not that it's a bad thing. I'm just arguing for you, and we go down the rights of. So what realm is that? It's not legal. It's not ecclesiastical. Yeah, it's lawful, and it's under the covenant. It's your spoken word. Law is auricular, and the meeting of the minds, the souls, yeah, the tripart. So that's the strongest agreement in law under the Creator that man can make. You're making it verbally. It's a verbal contract. Well, kind of, but no, because that's legal, so it's still in law, private. Nobody's around. Yeah, you stand on it. You can even enforce that by making documentation, as people do, which in the legal realm is called a what? A pre something nuptial agreement, a prenuptial agreement. So if anybody's trying to take the mick, Noel and somebody, you know, I think I heard recollect something in the times of me going up, and there was a lot of that. So you know, but we don't operate in the legal realm. We've got no assets to protect. So, you know, it's a harsh world out there, and you do need to look after yourselves, and you do need to think, if anything was to accidentally happen, is there anything in place? If you was to be deemed medically, mentally incapable, or less abled, you're not able, non-compass mentis. And who's going to take control? Oh, the state will, because you haven't put anything in place. If you get pulled before a robe or a banker, what's going to happen? You're in probate. Your estate's in that. You're in probate. Said research probate and prosecution and what this means, and the Latin and the, you know, so control mechanisms and understanding, knowledge, understanding, whatever you want to call it. Use it at your peril. The pen is mightier than the sword. The days of fighting and bloodshed are over, as they've shown you these excellent channels that I've brought before you. There is ways and means and languages and systems out there. The system is not broken. The system is working to perfection, and they're just about to enhance it with 5G, quantum, AI, motherfucking computing, with algorithms that none of us can defend, and it's going to go wild. We have no protection. We're open now in this you know, legal war of proclamations and monarchies and whatever else, and the assumptions and presumptions and mandatory, you know, statutory defaulted codes upon the legal person, and you know, nobody is innocent at all until proven guilty, because as we've proven to you, the system is defunct, and you need to tell them it's defunct and hold them to it, or nothing will ever happen. If you're not capable of holding them to show that there is a defunct system and rebut the claims and hold them to contempt under their own system and law, under damages with a counterclaim, not contracting, you know, this is serious business now. We really are at the, you know, the litigant in person, past the mitigation, straight to the litigation, and you know, it's time to play hardball or, you know, sort it out. So it's just truly incredible. That bit at the beginning about the swapping of the Sunday and the, you know, Sabbath, Saturday, first day of the week clearly is Sunday. So that is Sunday 1, Monday 2, yeah, Tuesday 3, Wednesday 4, Thursday 5. Friday 6, Saturday 7. So we rest on the Saturday, allegedly. Some might say, it appears. Yeah, bulls, papal bulls, bullion, oxes, dictions, statutes, statutary. You know, it's all there. It's all there, food for thought. But you know, London, the corporate city of London, the banks, the finance, the infrastructure. You see now where the Commonwealth shrunk, how they grasped to claim stakes elsewhere through offshore tax havens now, and such things as Finchley Road. And yeah, we've really been digging, and we've really had a look, and we remember a lot of things, and we pass it about, and it's not so much coveted on the .com or anything like that. It's just that we are slowly getting ready to make some final moves, as you like, and I hope there's still time for all you lot to cognise and get on and sort this out as well. And you know, a last will and testament, back to that loop, fragmented off, sorry, is key. And if you put that in place, then whether you're in a common law relationship, agreement, and we covered that well, I think, enough for you to work that out, and where the power is. And you make anything and you write it down, and you put a thumbprint and an autograph and put by, and set law, creditor, these things, correct the trust relationships, name the trustees, the beneficiaries in that, what the asset is, manage it properly. It's done. It's a testamentary. It doesn't have to be rocket science. It's for man by man. These are our systems. These are our courts. It's not that perplexing. It's not that deep. So there's many ways of doing it, but think of the righteous, just right and proper. Sovereign Smith has helped to some extent clarify, like these notarized documents. You don't need a notary public to witness the signature or autograph, really. It's like we've got the biblical scripture where it says 2 men will suffice as witnesses. You can use the ratification of faith that comes to mind, but the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost is a Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, and Holy Spirit. Which one? Check it. As witnesses. So and even if you're not of that religion, this system is. This is the Roman one, and that's why you have like the it's very strange how you have a Christian nation with the Roman Catholic underpinning of, and that's the underpinning of all around the realm, to be fair. So you've got a lot of underpinnings that we are kind of trying to help you underpin slowly at a time, and these videos by these channels have helped us do that. Others out there see it as we do, see it as you do. They know something's wrong, and when we all get together and have a chat, kick ass for the Lord, it seems that we're getting helped. So thank you all. Finchley Road videos earlier today. Was Menza? Great minds think alike, eh? Jonesy, what we're saying. Yeah, email me. I'm on Facebook, Jonesy. I've disappeared. I've got the SPO's Pro account, and yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was going to have a chat. It was, did you get your hoodie? That's the important question. Did it turn up, fella? Finchley Road, what we got? Jerry, Greek God of the Sea. Going to bed soon. It's time to shut off. Don't bother me, wills. Don't see children to have will. It doesn't matter about that. It's about estate management, and if you don't sort your state of standing capacity and all these things are, and you've only ever got legal title, then those with legal title don't have access or right to have equitable title, and you're still in the wrong place, and you'll be giving it away. I'm not saying you should do anything, Brother John. I know I can't tell you, but others in the common law type, this is just an example of where you would protect your assets by making a last will and testament. Many ways of doing it. A paper format and a video format would be ideal, referencing the address of the video for a backup on the paper format. So then keep the copy of the paper original always, make copies, distribute them, point everything, executors of estate, trustees, whatnot, the beneficiaries are outlined. What have we just done? Testamentary, testator comes to mind there. So, these are the things that we're now able to bring to you with backup and, the ways that it's been done and the ways that you can do it, and you got legal, you got ecclesiastical, you got lawful, and maybe others, who knows? You tell me. Possessions own us, well said, man. Mirror falling down the stairs. Greed meant, yeah, greed, agreement. Put a D in there, but agreed meant, yeah, agreement. But then you know about the public, you know about the statutory, you know about the constructed now, you know about agents, you know about signatures, you know about with liability, without liability. You know about tacit and tort. Yeah, contracts, what they are, who they are. If someone's got chasing a debt and they've got a client, it goes deep. It goes really deep. Well done. Somebody believes something, that's their belief, yeah. Like my mate, my brother, your brother, Matthew said to me in a conversation earlier today, their belief, they better go and check their belief because I believe that your belief is incorrect. There are many strands of the web of life. Yes, there is. I think I bought tap water from the shop. It was disgusting. Yeah, bad luck. Yeah, they put it in plastic though, and it's in the front window. It gets light and it gets heated up and stuff. The plastic reacts because it's not BPA plastic, BPA free plastic. So they put the plastic in a cheap polyurethane, whatever it is, skin, and then it releases toxins into the water. So it could be out, mate. Honestly, Dom, I booked a magnet with the serial number 19. Imagine my joy when writing the date next to it. 19 Beastie Boys reference. Turn into a frog if you like, yeah. Who the half no trending on EW. Well said, sister. Pink Floyd built a wall and destroyed it. Oh, well said. Nice one. Right, I'm just catching up. Thank you all. Thank you, viewing. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've all each found something from one of them channels and the presentations there named and used for this news and politics, wrap up of if you was not sure of certain things or questioned anything. And, it's just more backup and some more channels. If you weren't already subscribed, go and have a look at them. Maybe subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Thank you to the 25 thumbs uppers and the patience at the beginning with the audio. I will have to fix these codecs though. Doesn't help being tired after a long day as well, don't forget. Not an expert in anything, just sometimes we'll make mistakes. Done 70 square meters of stripping paper today. I got given a Dreamscape 22 tape pack. It's none of the tapes have ever been played. Before we end the hang up, I would show you for reasons of nostalgia. I'm actually going to go down and get them and show you whilst I tell you what happened. 70 square meters stripped wood chip wallpaper on the ceiling. Where are they? Here. Excuse me. Let's go back upstairs. 1 minute. Patience. Patience. Before we go back in time. And as I was working in this client's hallway, I moved all the things and I dropped this tape pack on the floor. And it nearly went in the paint. And I was like, what's that? Dreamscape 22. I remember that. That's about 96, 97. And sure enough, it turns out that it was a Dreamscape 22 tape pack. I opened it up. Oh, I'm going to show you now. I'll get on the video on. And I looked at it and I was mighty surprised to see, it's in mint condition. They've never been played. The tape, the white bit on the tape that told you the DJ in the event, they always used to rub off, didn't they, on them clear, transparent 60 and 90 minute tapes. For those of you that don't know what a tape is, get ready. All you need is a tape player now. So yeah, I did the stripping, sorted it out. I did such a good job. He was well happy. He ended up giving me the tape pack. He's got a good heart, he has. So if you are too young to remember, that ain't my fault. But yeah, let's go back in time. We'll end on a funny high. It's probably going to be backwards. What? Did you possess ever in the time? And then the quality of the tapes. The quality of the tapes inside. Look at them. Men never even been played. I was chuffed. Offered him some money. He says, no, you're all right, kid. You've done such a good job. You can have them. Oh, yeah. So we have, from the top, and this way is the top, look. The Living Dream, DJ Seduction, DJ Brisk, DJ Side, DJ Slipmat, DJ Hype, DJ Clarky, DJ Dougal, DJ Vibes, Dougal and Majika, Brisk and Sai. So I'm going to enjoy listening to them. Shame I don't have a tape player in the car, but yeah, what a lovely man. I will put them on MP3 maybe. 1996 is the date written on the tape pack. I was leaving the indoctrination at 1994, and yeah, just a part of history, isn't it? Part of the the Criminal Justice Act. And lest we not forget, we had Fantasia doing raves as well. Fantasia, Castle Donington, 25,000 ravers there, and then we had Fantasia swap over to CDs in HMV. And I was like, what do you mean you can buy CDs and HMV from Fantasia? And they did the house collection. It just went commercial. And I was like, but they were naughty little ravers. How did they get a commercial deal? They just sell out. That's what happens. And like these videos have said, folks sell out, and distraction and amusement give them bread and games. And there's lots of, as we've said, these principles and theories and hermetic of what was that other thing now, synthesis. There was a scale that I brought to you as well, wasn't there, that I was looking at. There's something dialectic, come on, dialect, the Hegelian dialect, bosh, there you go. And then you get the thesis, antithesis, and a synthesis in the middle, bosh. So yeah, it's all there, food for thought. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll say good night. Cat 49 22 7 is 5. 22 divided 7, yes. 7 in English gematria is 22. Yeah. Oh, I do like numbers. Don't start with numbers, it's bedtime. Stop making me feel old. These are like that Ewok, Get In, Dreamscape 22. If you have subsequently got any of these tape packs and you would like to donate them to me, then please email david@splspro.com. I promise to put them all on MP3 and upload them to Tube and catalogue them all, especially if they've never been played and they're in such a mint condition, as that. They're not, the black plastic's not even split. But if you didn't catch it the first time, that's absolutely fuckers. I know it's too shiny, but not even split, never played. Proper chuffed. And that's life. Things come to you. I've lost, so many records through mold and theft and classics and white labels, and I've cried about it in my years before. And recently I had a lot of records go moldy in my brother's garage, and he threw them away. And one of my favourite DJs is Sasha and Digweed Collections. Sasha and Digweed Renaissance and Bell Funk, Sasha and Digweed, but Sasha LP long play. He did quite a lot. The Reese Project, Direct Me. He did first tune I heard by him was Nasty Rhythm on a white label. And I went to see some trance events like when I was about 13, 14 to be fair, 14ish, yeah. And Laurent Garnier was kicking around then, and just before the intense rave, there was a lot of different trance stuff. And then Sasha records I collected, Northern Exposure, I had them on vinyl, limited test press editions. I had a lot of collection, and in that collection was some Gatecrasher limited editions, discotheque albums, and other such rave white labels, stuff that I DJ'd with that I had good memories. Really, like when you've played a record 100, 500, 1,000 times, and it's still not scratched, and you've had all them events with it. You know what I mean? They become part of you. They become part of your history, of your lineage, and then to lose all of these things that are not just intrinsically valued at, eBay, auction, Disco Hogs auction, sale price for collectors in mint condition with no scratches, 20 years on, played, looked after, in cases. It's just ridiculous what I did. And then when I lost them, I just thought, well, they're gone. It happens. That's life. They're items. They're just atoms put together. I enjoyed them. I had them. Easy come, easy go. And 20 years ago, I would have been mourning for a year. I would have been upset. I would have been moody. I would have been looking immediately to replace them. I would have taken out loans. I would have tried to, source and get every single record. I'd have gone through the whole collection and gone through and worked out how many records would I reckon which ones weren't there, stick out and go through it. But it's just life, and things will find me again. I thought one day someone's going to go, Dave, I've got some tunes here and I don't want them. I know you used to DJ, and the universe will deliver back to me those records that I lost, and I will be like, hey, this is really weird because manifestation, you attract it, and it is weird. No such thing as coincidence, coincidences. Yeah, well, maybe, I don't know. But thank you. 2727. Good night, bless. You live, love, and lose. Yeah, that's it. Things are just material. What matters to us is your mental health, your state, what these videos have encapsulated, the messages, what's going off, and how you proceed to go forward, how you look after your assets by that, your children, your offspring, your sons and daughters, yourselves, your intellectual property, your mental health, your finances, your future happiness, your pursuit of happiness, your drug taking, whether that be sugar, nicotine, caffeine, alcohol, prescribed GP neurotoxins, or street graded recreational, euphoric and other such aims. It's just mental, really is. Literally, it is mental. It's a mental thing, mental health. You got to look after yourselves, realise. Don't react, respond, to quote Smithy in his absence. See, you like the number 7 there? I do too. Right, we're going. We're ending the hangout. Goodbye, good night. Bless. Thank you. Ciao, Bello. Give us a thumb up and a share if you wouldn't mind. And see you soon. Stay sovereign.